Okay, people. So, have a new indie joint for you this week. Thanks to the good folks at Blue Fox Entertainment and Falco Inc. Right? I got the hook up with The End of Sex. This is the new film from Sean Garrity, which was written by Jonas Chernick. The film is produced by Justin Rebelo, Sally Karam, and Christopher Guru. It is executive produced by Jonas Chernick, Emily Hampshire, Jesse D. Ickerman, Bill Marks, Alex Peters, and Michelle Shawanstein. And it's line produced by Evan Ottini. Ari Posner handled the music, while Sasha Morik cinematography and John Gerdybeck edits the piece. Sarah Kay and Jenny Lewis are on casting, with Tiana Petrovok on production design, Rabab Ali art direction, Michael Alexander Uselio was on set decoration. Costume design is Chelsea Graham. Heather Jennings and Haley Roseland Barnes were on makeup. And our cast. Well, Emily Hampshire is Emma. Jonas, as well as writing the joint, he's also co-starring as her husband, Josh. Right? They've got two daughters, Dawn, played by Emily Watts, and Grace, played by Maya Misaljevic. Emma works with Wendy, who is played by Melanie Scrofano, right? Josh works with Kelly, played by Lily Gow. And the work Emma and Wendy are doing, right? They visit a gallery which is owned by Marlon, who is played by Gary Powell. Okay, we've got Aisha, played by Eden Cupid. We have Simone, played by Kimberly-Sue Murray. Janice, played by Samantha Espy. Emma's mother is Marge, played by Frances Townsend. Her dad, I feel her dad's Tom, who's played by Austin Ball. We got Andrew, played by Daniel Falk. Elan, played by Milton Barnes. Jory, played by Pedro Miguel Arce. Dave, played by Brad Austin. Paul, played by Ken Pack. And Gary, played by Stephen McCarthy. Yeah, that's our main lot of folks. And the gist is this: after sending their kids away to a week-long sleepaway camp for the first time, Emma and Josh, feeling the pressure of parenting, realize they have the house to themselves, which can only mean one thing, right? A perfect opportunity to have as much sex as they want. There is only one problem. They are shocked to discover their lovemaking has become stagnant. Freaked out that this could be a sign of their relationship in decline, Emma and Josh desperately embark on a series of adventures that will push their marriage to the brink in the hopes of reinvigorating their sex lives. So that's the film, right? Now, we have a statement, right, from you know, Sean and Jonas, and it is this. When we have kids, our sex lives go underground, like a kind of espionage committed quietly behind locked doors when we're sure that our children are asleep or over at a friend's house, or for the more daring among us, when they're taking a shower or playing a particularly immersive video game. Sex reverts to the taboo subterfuge it was when we were ourselves teenagers. Maybe that's why our kids are in such shock when they eventually deduce that we must be doing it, having been doing it all this time. Da da dum, in this house, right under their noses. Such betrayal. So, when our offspring are old enough to travel out of town with their volleyball team or go to summer camp or for a prolonged stay with rural relatives, we are finally emancipated. Sexual liberation. We can fuck in every room of the house with the doors open, on the floor, on the stairs, like we used to before we had kids. And that's when we discover, to our horror, that while we were busy packing lunches, driving our daughters to birthday parties, and making sure our sons brushed their teeth properly, something happened. We got older. Yep, because the ultimate subterfuge is, of course, change. We don't even notice it happening until we try to revert to our 28-year-old selves with their 20-year-old sex lives, and instead we find ourselves standing naked in front of someone's mum, who is herself standing naked in front of someone's dad. Such betrayal. In the end of sex, I try to push this universal journey towards its most awkward, vulnerable, and hilarious extremes. And along the way, I have my characters stumble upon something else, something about the other things that change when our sex lives change, something about who we were and who we have become. So that's the yeah, that's the gist in what they were trying to do. And people, right? I'm going to be honest with you. I think they did it, right? I think they did it. Yeah, this was a really it's a really interesting, I feel, like, look at things. Right now, we've had countless films and TV shows that kind of look at a similar thing, right? And sometimes you can wonder, why do we need more? Right? What is this going to tell us? Because we've had some good ones and we've had some terrible ones, right? Now, this, I think there's some fun here. It, you know what? When I was watching it, it reminded me of this old, gosh, I think early 90s sitcom. I think, yeah, I guess you would call it a sitcom. It's called Dream On, right? About a guy, I feel his name was Andy. And he was a single dad living in a flat, looking after his daughter, thinking about his past marriage that failed and then just other relationships. And like, when he would have a thought about something, sometimes they would visualize that thought, or words might appear which kind of depict that. And we got that in this, right? There'll be like fantasies and thoughts that came to life. You know, there was a bit when and wait, hold on. I feel I got my names mixed up. Dum dum dum. So Josh, of course, Josh. There's a bit when Josh was talking to Kelly, right? And they were talking about the amount of sex couples have. And he's walking down the street, and now that's all he can think about. So above people's heads, it'll be like, this morning, yesterday, you know what I mean? An hour ago, right? Just all these times kind of just go, because there's that worry of, are we, you know what I mean? Are we the only ones? Is everyone else doing it more than us? Right? There's all of these thoughts and conceits and all of that kind of thing, which I thought was very well captured in that moment. Right? You've got Kelly, who is much younger. I don't feel we get an age, but definitely younger, right? So those conversations between her and Josh, and just Josh in the company where he works, right? You can see that everyone else has this younger mindset, right? And he's, you know, could say outdated, could say sensible with some of the stuff, right? But there's that difference there. And, you know, just in the conversations he has with Emma about things, right? Because it's that thing. When they realize house is free, it's just like, oh, I mean, we could have the sex, right? And, you know, it's yes, like you can say some of these terms and things are stuff that, you know, we see in comedies and stuff like that. But also, older people, right? You do notice like there are people that kind of do talk like that, you know. Oh, I was on the internet, you know, and that the Facebook, and you know what I mean, like the way people talk about things, and it's so, you know, I mean, this worked. I really feel this, you know, did work. Now I wasn't, you know what I mean, I wasn't, I would say, laughing out loud, but you know what I mean? It did bring a smile to my face a lot watching these different scenarios, and you do think, yeah, no, that's oh my gosh, yeah, you know what I mean? And you're thinking like that as watching it. So you know, I do think probably a lot of, yeah, this is gonna make a lot of people laugh, right? Just watching their interpretation of some of these scenarios. Like there's certain things that happen that you would go, oh, well, I mean, yeah, they, you know, obviously they're gonna have like this situation, right? But I feel it's the conversations that go around these things, right? That's what works. Then also you're watching this film, right? And it's about this couple trying to reignite their sex lives, but it also kind of looks at those situations, you know, like the way you might see other people in certain situations, and you just think, I mean, that's them. We are nowhere near that, right? Even though you might be close, right? But you just don't realize because it's outside looking in. You know what I mean? So you have that, but then also the big thing, right? Because you have this couple that have just put things on the back burner, right? It's, yeah, great parents looking after kids, making sure they're fed, going to school, all of that jazz. But I think it shows. You know what I mean? Like, look, you can do that for sure. Definitely do that. But never lose sight on your situation. You know what I mean? Always remember that, yo, you've got to show each other love, right? You've got to, you know what I mean? Be there for each other in every way. Not just, okay, I'll cook dinner tonight, but just be like, yo, I love you, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just care for each other. Because if you don't, you kind of get out of practice with certain things. You know? It's yeah, we've got that hypocrisy thing that happens, right? How could you lie to me when they've lied as well? You know what I mean? But you just in the moment, you're not thinking about the fact that, oh yeah, you were doing exactly the same shit. You know, and then there's the trying to make people jealous, those petty things. And I thought what was great is just like that whole notion of when we take advice from people and you're thinking, oh, this person has all the answers, right? Without thinking, wait, could they be insecure on things? Right? Could they have doubts about things? You know what I mean? Because we have that thing where we kind of just assume, right? This person, oh, they're living the perfect life. Everything is golden with them, but it's not always the case. Not always the case. So yeah, I thought this was I, yeah, I thought this was handled really well. You know, also shows, right? Don't jump into everything. Don't jump into everything without fully thinking it through because there are, you know what I mean? There are consequences to our actions. We might unleash a situation that, yeah, you might not be completely down with, you know? But yes, people, the end of sex is a very enjoyable addition, I would say, right, to films like Zach and Miri Make a Porno, you know? Um, oh my God, my mind has just got, there was another film that I was thinking about and being like, oh yeah, perfect. Jesus Christ. My stupid head is like a sieve. But yeah, I mean there's a load of kind of films that look at relationships and that connective tissue between us, right? Which I think sometimes it's not necessarily what we hope it would be. You know what I mean? You want it to be a lot stronger, but yeah, there can be holes. I mean, gosh, I just think of like some of your favorite kind of romantic films, right? Where someone is playing something off against someone else, you know? Because yeah, this one, as I said, look, it's a good addition to the mix. Like plus one, yes, I think that's another one I was trying to think about people. But yeah, there's plenty of those films, you know, and you know, it's always interesting. You know, as I said, look, it's always interesting to see what people can do with a story, what new spin they can put on it. And I think when people talk in a way, right, that feels a bit more realistic, right? That's always a huge plus. And we definitely, I would say we definitely get that with this. Solid acting all the way through. Solid acting all the way through. Um, yeah, people. The End of Sex. I recommend it. Go check it out. Have fun. Enjoy it. Um, if you pick up anything from the film, you know, Have conversations, man. Have conversations. Remember not to blurt things out when you've got a microphone, and look at, you know, the list of people that might be in a sex club if you don't want to sky yourselves. You know what I mean? Also, if you're in a fucking office, there's conversations happening in the office, right? And it's not like motherfuckers are whispering. You know what I mean? So yeah, maybe you don't want to share all your business, right? In front of your colleagues. But people, yeah, the end of sex. Have fun.